It's been an interesting couple of days, Mr. President. The January 6th committee yesterday holding a special session with what they're calling apparently some new evidence. They had a junior staffer, Cassidy Hutchinson, 26 years old. She made some wild secondhand accusations about you.
Crazy.
What'd you make of that?
I thought it was absolutely crazy. This committee is, a lot of people say, illegally formed. But when you look at what they're doing and when you look at what they're saying and what they're doing to the country, now the good news is a lot of people aren't watching, a lot of people aren't listening to it, but they're trying to do real harm. We went through Russia. We went through Ukraine. We went through the Mueller report, no collusion after 3 years, 2.5 years. And now we're going through this. It's a one-way sideshow. It's a horrible thing that they can do to the country where they take this kind of time. They don't talk about making America great anymore. All they do is investigate everybody. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. This lady yesterday, there's something wrong with her? Is there something wrong? She said, I jumped from a car and I started strangling. Think of this. I started strangling a Secret Service agent,
right,
who I know very well. I grabbed the steering wheel of a car that said that I wanted guns at my rally. I didn't want guns. I have to speak too, and I don't want guns for anybody.
Did you grab the steering wheel? Is there any truth
to that? Of course
not.
not.
Is that ridiculous?
In fact, the Secret Service came out and said that this story is totally false.
Yeah.
The woman is living in fantasy land. She's a social climber, if you call that social. I think it's just a shame that this is happening to our country. And we don't have any Republicans up there to dispute it. We have one who quit, Kinzinger, and we have another one who's down by 35 points in Wyoming. She's a total disaster. She's a train wreck. But think of it, nobody to cross-examine. Professor Dershowitz said you can't do where you have a hearing and there's no cross-examination. This would have been the easiest cross-examination anywhere. And they put her on, and they don't even confirm it with the Secret Service. The Secret Service people in the car said this didn't happen. But you don't even need that. Who would do that? I would grab a Secret Service person by the throat.
I don't even know if it's possible. Certainly not in the Beast.
It's very hard.
Even in one of the SUVs.
Well, it's very hard for another reason. These guys lift 350 pounds.
Right, right. I saw you get out of the SUV tonight. It seemed like it was pretty smooth.
Yeah,
no, grabbing anything.
It's fine. I mean, but, you know, these are people. These are great people. These are great people. They've devoted their lives to it. And I think they were very embarrassed by it because it makes them sound terrible.
Tony Ornato and Bobby Engel.
They're great. I know them very well.
Sterling.
They are
records.
sterling. And I was very nice that they came to my defense. I thought it was incredible, actually, because, you know, some whack job can say this stuff and get away with it. And other things, that I wanted guns at my rally. Okay, now I'm speaking. Why would I want guns? I don't want people standing with guns in my rally.
I don't remember seeing any AR-15s at the Capitol.
Well, she wasn't complaining. And the other thing about this woman, she wanted to work for me after January 6th. She was a big Trump fan. She wanted to work for me in Florida. And we chose not to bring her down because I got very bad things. I hardly knew her. And I said, well, if she's no good, I got somebody called up, numerous people, that she's not good. I won't say why that she's not good, but plenty of reasons.
Why?
I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say that she was not respected by the people in the White House. So they thought she shouldn't go down. I was going down to Florida with a group of people, great group of people, patriots, and her name was thrown out there, and they said, stay away from her. They said bad things about her. And then I see her, and I hardly know who she is. And then I see this woman getting up, and she's making up stories like one after another. But the craziest of all was that I tried to commandeer, I think they used that word, I tried to commandeer a car with Secret Service agents telling them to take us down to the Capitol. It was totally false, and that a person can get away with it. And then I watch the Times and the Washington Post, and I get reviews on MSDNC and CNN. They hardly even talk about the fact that she's been totally discredited. So it's a very sad thing that this is allowed to take place in our country, that somebody can just get there without cross-examination, with no Republicans on the committee, which I think was a mistake. I think we should have had Republicans on the committee.
Jim Banks, Jim Jordan.
I think they should do something. Is this going to go on forever? Is this going to just keep going on and on? They get one person. they have to ask her, why did she want to go so badly with the Trump organization to Florida? She was all set to go, and then we determined that we didn't want her.
Do you think those Secret Service agents will get the opportunity to testify?
I hope they do. I hope they can testify. I think the woman is, she's got serious problems. Let me put it that way.
What did you make of Fox
Mental
News?
problems.
Yeah. What did you make of Fox News and other media outlets latching onto this story? I heard Brett Baer last night say, well, why would she risk perjury? She could go to jail. And I'm sitting there at home thinking to myself, well, this is a Democratic panel. They're not going to charge their own star witness with perjury, even if it is true.
I heard that Brett Baer said that, which is obviously strange. I look, Brett Baer. Here's the story. It didn't happen. Other things didn't happen. They said that I encouraged people to have guns. I didn't encourage people. Never spoke to anybody about it.
Right.
I didn't encourage anybody to have guns. And I'm one of the speakers. I don't want people out there with guns for me either.
Right.
But I don't want, maybe more importantly, for other people to get hurt. I don't want that to happen. You look at the fact that I recommended from 10 to 20,000 troops be there. Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of D.C. turned it down.
Yeah.
All of these things took place. They turned it down.
We're not hearing about that during these hearings.
They don't even cover it. They refuse to mention it. You'll never see it. You rarely see it in the fake news. Think of it. If they put not 10,000 troops or 20,000 troops, I recommended between 10 and 20
right.
in front of numerous witnesses, in front of people, and in front of the people that actually do that. So if we would have had not 10,000 troops, but 500, tiny proportion of that, you wouldn't have January 6th, as it is called. It wouldn't have even existed. There wouldn't have been a problem. They didn't like the look of it. They said, well, we don't like the look of it. And I could feel there was a big crowd forming. It just felt like a lot of people were talking about January 6th. And the thing they don't talk about is the incredible size of the group of people that I spoke to. Because I think it was the biggest, or certainly one of the biggest groups I've ever spoken before. And I've spoken to big crowds. Like, few people have spoken to bigger. And this was, I think, at the top of the list or very close to it. And from there, a small group, relatively speaking, a small group went down to the Capitol. But for this girl to sit there and I think just make up stories. Many years ago, there was a man named John Lovitz.
Yeah.
And he did a routine called The Liar.
Yeah.
She should look at it. She should look at it.
That's SNL. How much of this is about trying to prevent you from running again?
Oh, I think a lot of
in
it
2024.
is, yeah. I'm leading in all the polls.
Every poll.
Against Republicans and Democrats. I'm leading in the Republican polls at numbers that nobody's ever even seen before. And against Biden and anybody else that they run, I'm leading against them. No, this is just a way of, look at the dishonesty of this committee. They don't talk about any of the things that refute January 6th.